Good evening and Selamat Petang to all my Innerweal friends from Malaysia and Singapore. Ni hao. I thank National Representative Alice Lowe, District Chairman Shanti Menon, District 330, District Chairman Gillian Lee, District 331 for inviting me to be the speaker today. My salutations to the past international board directors, Jessie Wong, Joy Sundaram, Joan Saleh, Shireen Gharyali, Pearl Mohan, for all past national representatives, all past district chairmen of Malaysia and Singapore. My special thanks to Junita Lee, District Extension Chairman, for coordinating the program. And I also would like to thank my dear friend Parimala for your kind and benevolent words. Shanti and Parimala, the nostalgic memories of the South Asia rally in Kuala Lumpur still lingers in my mind. You had organized it flawlessly. And your past district ISO Foong Pak and I have been connected. We are friends since when I was national president and I was the chair of the National Convention in India in 2013. So I have not seen Foong today, but anyway, I convey my hello to her. Okay. Yes, she's there. Okay, I can't, because on my screen I can only see very few people at the moment. But anyway, now I would like to start the program with a PowerPoint presentation. So should I start the screen sharing? Yes.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Can you all see my screen, friends?
Yes.
Okay. Then I start the program. The first step that you take as a leader is very important. You know, like when you button a shirt, if you button the first button wrongly, the entire row goes wrong. So you have to be very careful. And when you do it rightly, nothing goes wrong. So a leader must learn to walk erectly. And that is why the training program is necessary to build the leaders for tomorrow. District Chairman Shanti and Gillian Lee, they were walking and they saw these two monkeys on river Sungai Klang. And then they both said to the monkeys that if you jump, and you know the monkeys were playing and pulling each other's tail and enjoying themselves. And then Shanti and Gillian Lee told the monkeys that if you jump into the river and take a dip immediately, you will become the famous film actress of Malaysia, Diana Daniel. So as you see in the picture, the elder monkey refused to jump, but the younger one jumped down immediately and she became Diana Daniel. So Shanti and Gillian asked the elder one, the older monkey, why didn't you jump? He said, well, I had no belief, no trust in you. What if I don't become the film actress? And then they asked the younger one, why did you jump? She said that I trusted you. Because if I jump, if my leader has told me to jump, I will become a film actress. And if I don't become a film actress, I will remain a monkey. So friends, if you follow your leader, you will always be successful. The training program also helps you to become a strong and courageous leader. Rather than living in fear and anxiety and undermining yourself, it is important to be innovative, to think out of the box and find opportunities to adapt and grow. And friends, do not ever underestimate yourself. When you look at yourself in the mirror, Don't see the cat in you. See the tiger in yourself, because each one of you has many hidden talents and you may not be aware of it also. A leader is just like an iceberg. Just look at the iceberg. It looks so small from the top, but just look down. Look at its depth. Amazing, isn't it? So you all have your hidden depths. You only have to take them out and show it to the world. Friends, what happens when you hold pearls in your hand and then you drop them? When you drop them, they will be scattered all over the floor. It is only the string that binds all the pearls together into a beautiful crafted necklace. So it is the leader who is like a string. She binds all the members of the club or district so beautifully, and lo behold, you see the gorgeous necklace. But after the necklace is ready, we say, oh, how beautiful is the necklace. But we forget the string who has binded all of them together. These are sunflowers. And the characteristic of sunflower is that in whichever direction there is the sun is, they look in that direction. North, south, east, west, wherever the sun is, they keep looking at the sun and they gain energy from the sun. But friends, what happens when it is a rainy day or there is no sun? Like just like you, I thought that the sunflowers will look down. But I'm sorry to say, these flowers never look down. When there is no sun, they have nothing to look upwards, but then you know what they do? They look at each other, they give positive energy to each other, and they give strength to one another. So, the sunflower, the leader must give and to every member, to every club. A leader must give strength to every club and every member, whosoever it might be. So what yeah. Friends, a leader has only 365 days to prove herself. Now it depends on the leader. Whether you want to dive deep into the sea and search for pearls, or you want to sit and do some fishing, or you just want to be lazy and dip your feet in the water and just get recognized, oh, I'm the club president, or I'm the district chairman, or I am whatever. So it is up to you to decide what type of leader you want to be. You will not find the pearls on the seashore. If you want one, you have to dive for it. You have to strive very hard to find a pearl. And without hard work, nothing grows but weeds. So friends, it is up to you to decide how you want to spend these 365 days which have been allotted to you. Leadership and communication go hand in hand. There was a husband and wife, they were newly married. They had no children, of course. And then when the wife was a housewife, she never went to work. The husband used to go to work from morning 9 and return at 9 p.m. in the night. And the wife used to get very bored. And when he came home, she would be very upset and very angry with him. So the husband decided that he will give her a surprise. So he bought a talking parrot, as you can see in the picture, a talking parrot, a parrot that will talk and give her company. So he bought a talking parrot and he left it on the dining table, feeling that, okay, this parrot will talk to my wife and she will be very happy when I return home. When he returned home, he expected her to say, honey, I love you very much. But again, she was very upset and angry. So he said, didn't you like my surprise? She said, what surprise? The husband said, well, I put a talking parrot in front of you in the dining table. She said, well, honey, you never told me and I cooked it for dinner. So friends, The leader must send the right communication at the right time, otherwise your bird will get cooked up. In the left-hand side of the picture of the mouth, and on the right side, you see the picture of the tongue. Many a times it has happened with me, and I'm sure it has happened with you, that your tongue would have got in between your teeth. You know, so many times our tongue gets bitten by our own mouth. But tell me honestly, when this happens, do you remove the tongue from the mouth because you are angry or you are upset? No. Even we don't like it, but when our teeth bites the tongue, we still keep it intact. Similarly, in the club or in the district, you might have problems. Always try to solve the problems and don't try to separate the members from each other. A good leader will always analyze and solve the problems. So just like the mouth and the tongue, you know, you have to keep everything together. Here in the picture, you see a monkey with a red rose and proposing to the tiger and saying, "Will you marry me?" And of course, the tiger was so upset, and he said, "How dare you propose to me? Do you know who you are and who am I? I am the king of the jungle, and you dare propose." The monkey said, "Well, Mr. Tiger, don't look at my face or my background. See the confidence that I have to propose to you." So when the leader lacks confidence, the followers lack commitment. A confident leader can achieve anything and everything. A leader must not speak rudely or harshly with the members. If you speak harshly and rudely, you cannot sell anything. But with your polite tongue, a polite and soft leader can even sell all these red chilies that you can see in a picture. A leader's beauty is in her tongue. There was a farmer, a very rich farmer with a very beautiful daughter. A young lad came and told the farmer, "I would like to marry your daughter." The farmer said, "You may marry my daughter, but I have just one simple condition. I will release 3 buffaloes from my farm, and all you have to do is catch hold of the tail of any one buffalo." And the man said, "Okay, I'm ready for it." The first buffalo, as you see in the picture, was released. It was so huge, like an elephant. The boy said, "No, no, 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 not this one." Then the second buffalo was released and it came charging, as you can see in the picture. And it had, you know, very sharp horns. And the boy said, "No, not this one. I will take the third chance." The third buffalo, baby buffalo, a tiny buffalo, as you see in the picture. And the boy said, "Well, I will run and catch its tail." And he went running and running and running. And you know what happened when he came closer? This buffalo had no tail. So he lost all the opportunities. So don't wait for opportunities, create opportunities in the 365 days. Well, I went to the market to buy grapes, and then I saw on the left hand side some grapes and on the right hand side some loose grapes. And I asked the vendor, "What is the price?" Well, for the left hand side, he said, for 1 kilogram of grapes, it is about $1 Singaporean. And I said, "What about the grapes on the right side?" He said, "They are just for 25 cents. So I asked, "Are they from different countries?" He said, "No, they're from the same country, from the same vineyard." Then I said, "Why is the difference in the price so much?" He said, "Well, the ones in the bunch have more value, but the ones that leave the bunch, they lose their value." So friends, if you isolate from the group, you lose your value. A leader must bind the members together because teamwork is the key to success. So do not leave your bunch ever. This is a picture of a kite. I don't know about you, but when I was young, I always loved flying the kite from a terrace. I really enjoyed it. And your tenure of 365 days can be compared with the kite. You know what happens? Those of you who have flown a kite will know better that when you fly a kite, sometimes the wind is in your favor and the kite, goes right directly up into the sky. And sometimes when the wind is not in your favor, you have a tough time, pulling it, pulling the strings, and sometimes even your fingers, your hands get cut because you're trying to pull it so hard. And sometimes it gets cut by another kite. So you have a lot of difficulties, right? And sometimes the wind is in your favor and it just goes up. Similarly, your 365 days as a leader, when I say leader, it means club leader, district leader, all the leaders. Your 365 days will not be the same. Every day will not be. Sometimes you will have corona, you might have tsunami, you might have a typhoon, you might have a cyclone, or whatever may happen. Do not leave the reins of your club for the 365 days. Cling on to it tightly, and you will be able to swim across the ocean of inner wheel smoothly. There will be happy days, there will be sad days, there will be gloomy days, there will be dark days. But do not get disappointed. Keep cheerful, be happy, keep yourself chirpy. Uh, Suppose I have this is a picture of a dollar, $1, American dollar. Suppose if I have $1 American and Shanti has $1, okay? And we both exchange the dollar. What will happen? Shanti's dollar will come to me, my dollar will go to Shanti, and we are left with $1 each. But suppose if I have an idea and Joan Saleh has an idea, okay, your past international board director, and we both exchange our ideas, what happens? I will have 2 ideas and Joan Saleh will have 2 ideas. So a leader must always share her ideas and views with the team members and take their opinion. And this is all about sharing and caring. And then when you have more ideas, you can work brilliantly. Friends, what happens when your mobile phone is full of good morning, good night messages and forward messages? What happens? It happens to my phone every day. Every day before going to bed, I have to delete so many messages, good morning, good night, and extra messages which I don't want because my phone starts hanging. Okay? So a leader also must be deaf towards all the negative comments and keep deleting them from her mind. Otherwise, she cannot move ahead. You cannot reach for anything new if your hands are full of yesterday's junk. So please try to be positive and don't be negative anytime. Friends, a CEO of a company, he sent 2 of his managers to Africa to sell shoes. The first manager, as soon as he reached Africa, he rang up the CEO and he said, "Sir, nobody wears shoes here. Please call me back immediately. It's a big waste of money, time, and energy." Second manager, he also called up his CEO and he said, "Sir, nobody wears shoes in Africa, but we can do excellent business. You send me 10 containers of shoes. I will teach the people here what comfort the shoe can give, and we can do super business." So there are 2 contradictory statements by 2 managers. One is a pessimist and one is an optimist. So a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. So be an optimistic leader. Well, when I was in school, when I was in the junior class, I used to write with a pencil, and if I made any mistake, I took the eraser and I rubbed it off. When I came to class 5, I was given a fountain pen, an ink pen, and I was so excited. The first exams came, and I started answering my question paper, and I made many mistakes. I didn't know what to do. So I took a piece of chalk and I tried to, because I tried with my eraser. But my eraser couldn't rub the ink mark. So, and it left a lot of patches on my question answer paper, and my teacher was very upset. So when I took my second exam, I took a piece of chalk and I dipped the chalk in water and I tried to rub. And you know what happened? It didn't get erased, but there were white patches all over my paper, and my teacher scolded me and she said, "What an untidy work." The third exam came. Somebody told me that if you take spit from your mouth and rub it, you know, the ink vanishes. And I did that. I took spit from my mouth and I started rubbing all my mistakes. And there were big holes in my papers. Can you believe that? And my teacher was even more angry. When the final exams came, I mustered up all courage and I went to my teacher and I told her, "Ma'am, what do I do if I make a mistake?" She said, "If you make a mistake, Sarita, you just put a cross and just go, just put a cross and move ahead. Because the more you try to hide your mistakes, the more will it becomes." So friends, to err is human. We all make mistakes. Every leader, we are not born from our mother's womb with inner wheel knowledge. We all make mistakes. And when we make a mistake, don't try to play the blame game. Just say, "Sorry, I didn't know." Or ask your senior when you make a mistake, how to solve your problem. You will get it all right. My friend recently bought this mansion. Beautiful mansion. She paid a big money for it. And you know what happened? She had a phobia for rats. And the basement of this beautiful mansion was full of rats because nobody was using it. And she was so angry, so upset. And she took a hasty decision. She told somebody to lit a fire in the basement so that the rats would get killed. And yes, they lit a fire. The rats all got killed, and she was very happy. But you know what happened in a hasty decision? Her house also got burned. She lost her house. So a leader does not make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. Think wisely before you make any decision. This is Sari, myself jogging. I'm a health freak. I love to do yoga and I love jogging. So this morning when I was jogging and I saw a lady, a young girl who was ahead of me. And I said, how can this woman be ahead of me? Every day I'm ahead of everybody. And I said, I must overtake her. I started jogging more and more and faster. It took me really 20 minutes to overtake her, but I did it. And I was so happy and I said, wow, I made it. But you know what I realized? I crossed my house 3 kilometers and I had to come back to my house. What did I gain? So friends, don't compete with anyone. One club may be big, one club may be small. One country may have more clubs, one country may have less number of clubs. One club may be very rich, they have a lot of resources. Some clubs might not have less resources. But be contented with whatever resources you have and make optimized use of your resources. Otherwise, you'll land up in trouble just like me, as I did by competing with somebody else. Healthy competition is good, but unhealthy competition, it might be very dangerous. Friends, look at the picture carefully. Sometimes we have the resources, but we take poor decisions. See how the man has used his resources so poorly. Do not waste your resources. Think twice before coming to any conclusion. He could have put his left leg on a left shoe on the chair and tied his legs, but he did just the opposite. He just wasted all the resources. Friends, knowledge is like underwear. It is useful to have it, but not necessary to show it off. This is the Redwood Forest in California. This forest is very famous for the huge trees it has. You know, the Redwood Forest trees are all about more than 500 to 1,000 years old. The trees are about 500 meters in height. Imagine 500 meters or 1,000 meters in height and about 200 meters in circumference. See, look at the human beings looking so tiny. If you look at the bottom, we all human beings are looking so tiny. And this forest has grown very beautifully. It has survived all tsunamis, storms, cyclones, everything. But one bad quality it has, roots of this trees are very short, just 1 to 2 feet below the ground. And imagine with such short root and such a big height, how do they stand? How do they face all these typhoons and tsunamis and earthquakes? You know the reason? All the roots below, they entangle with each other. Even the baby trees, even the big trees, the oldest trees, all the roots entangle with each other and they give strength and support to each other. So this is how we have to do in Inner Week. A leader must guide the clubs how to be strong, and we must support each other in time of difficulty and to tide over any difficulty. So even if we are a small club or a small country, we can be strong if we have our roots strong. To be a good leader, friends, look at the two knobs. You must be regularly. And how do we do this? You must participate in training programs and webinars to update yourself. Updating yourself is very important. But if you get irritated with every rub, how will you be polished to become a strong leader of tomorrow? Think about it. An inner leader will always stand out that I assure you and guarantee you. If there is a wheel, there is a way. I would like, Junita, do I have time? 5 minutes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. You know, my family is from Rajasthan, where Jaipur is, you know, where we were going to hold the convention. I belong to that place. And I was in Kolkata, which is a very big city, like how you have Kuala Lumpur. I belong to a very big city. I was born there. Later, my father got transferred to a smaller city in Orissa in Cuttack. And then I got married to even a very smaller town, Eluru in Andhra Pradesh. So everybody's life is in ascending order, but my life is in descending order from a metropolitan city to a smaller city and to a small town. And I got married to a very orthodox Indian family. Here, we are not allowed to go out to work. We have to only be a housewife. Rearing and bearing children is our only occupation. And I was coming from Calcutta. My family is a very modern family. My parents, my mother used to drive the cars in those days, and I've seen, and here I had to, you know, wear a parda around my head. I don't know if you have seen ladies wearing, you know, I have to wear a sari with a parda around my head. And I didn't know what to do. For 5 years, I cried and cried, and I didn't know what to do. Well, suddenly, in the later years, one of my friends, she invited me to a Rotary meeting, and they were having a youth competition. The youth festival was going on, and there was this competition and this fancy dress competition and all going on. And I really liked it. And I said, well, I would like to join this organization. I spoke to the past district governor, and he said, your husband has to be a Rotarian if you want to, he said that you have to have a profession. You have to have a vocation to join Rotary. And I was a housewife in those days, not now. In those days, I was a housewife and I could not join Rotary. Then I heard about Inner Wheel, and I asked, how do I join Inner Wheel? They said, to join Inner Wheel, your husband has to be a Rotarian. Those were the rules, you know, I'm talking about 1996, where you had to be a member of the Rotary family. And let me tell you, friends, my husband was in no mood to join Rotary. But you know how we women are. We know how to pamper them. You know, by hook or by crook, I made my husband join Rotary. And when he joined Rotary, I became an Inner Wheel member. I was very young and enthusiastic. The very next year, I was made secretary, and then I became president for 2 years. And I was so happy. And I came from a joint family. Let me tell you, friends, in India, we still have joint families. My father-in-law are 5 brothers, so 5 fathers-in-law and their wives, 5 mothers-in-law. Together, 9 sisters-in-law, 4 brothers-in-law. And it's very tough to be the president because in a joint family, I was very enthusiastic. I wanted to do a project every day. But when I went out of my house, my father-in-law, He didn't say anything. I could read his emotions and he was not happy. My mother-in-law's mood was off because who will do the cooking at home? And my husband, he would be so angry with me. I had to decide whether to be an inner wheel member or to be inner wheel. But being, like being very, I thought and thought. And like the Archimedes principle, I got an idea to wake up. I started taking my mother-in-law to the projects, to the club projects. And I said, Mummy, please give this. Mummy, please give this old patient this. Mummy, please give this handicapped children. So I would do the projects at her hands. And she used to feel very happy. The rule came that the Rotarian's mother can be an inner wheel member, and I joined her as an inner wheel member. That's the end. All my problems got solved. I came home late. My father-in-law had no worries. My mother-in-law was so happy she was an inner wheel member, and my husband was happy because his mother was happy. So friends, if you want to do something, you have to think of a solution, a positive solution. And this is not the end of my story. After 2 years, my mother-in-law said, Sarita, even I want to become the club president. And in my place, you have to know either English or you have to know the regional language to be the club president. My mother tongue is Hindi because we are from North India and Hindi is not accepted in my, in the city where I live. But I didn't want to disappoint my mother-in-law. I would write all her speeches in English. My father-in-law would translate all those speeches in the local regional language. And my mother-in-law would write that in Hindi, the language she knew. So imagine 3 languages were being used and she became the outstanding president of the district. So friends, why I'm telling you my story is in inner wheel, age has no bar. My mother-in-law was 65 plus when she became president. Language has no bar. Religion has no bar. Caste has no bar. Only thing we need to have the inner wheel spirit. Once the inner wheel drug is injected into your veins, you can do miracles, you can do wonders. A good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. And I think I should stop now, otherwise you will lose interest and I want my skirt, to be very exciting. So friends, during this time of COVID and Corona, I want you to stay safe. I want you to be responsible. Do wear your mask in public places. Do wash your hands regularly. Take steam. Take all the necessary precautions. Terima kasih and Sisi Ne for inviting me. Namaste from India. Thank you so much. Involve, inspire, inner wheel. This is my tagline, which I have been using since I was national representative. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Sarita Lunani. It was a wonderful speech, very invigorating. Everyone, please put your hands together in thanking our special speaker. Now, the floor is open for question and answer session. You can start your questions and you'll get the answers from Shanti and Datin Joan Saleh. Are you ready for the question?
Not the answers. We will see the questions.
Anybody who has questions, please type it into the chat.
Question, anyone?
There's a question from Daisy Rani of Inner Wheel Club of Butterworth. Joan, do you want to read that out?
I cannot see it.
Okay.
I cannot see the...
It says, please share your most inspiring moment as Inner Wheel member?
Okay, do I have to answer this? Yes?
Yeah, it is directed towards you, Sarita.
Okay, thank you so much for that nice question. Yes, the most inspiring moment in Inner Wheel was when my mother-in-law got the award for the outstanding president of the district. I felt all my dreams have come true because I could make her successful. I could make her dream become a reality. Anybody would like to share their views on, if there's no questions, if anybody, okay, yes, I got a question from, what is the outstanding award? Yes. In our district, in my district 302, we have about 28 clubs, okay, and the district chairman visits every club and she checks all the records and she sees the projects and everything. And at the end of the year, she sees the president who has done the maximum. I mean, in all areas, outstanding awards means we have to attend all district functions. You have to do all the, you have to follow all the goals of the district chairman. You have to increase membership of your club. And there are many criteria, about 5 or 6 criteria we have. And the person, the club president who does everything in a very meticulous manner gets the award for the outstanding president. And it is really looked on, you know, like, okay, you are the outstanding president of the district. So that award was conferred on my mother-in-law.
We have a question from Padmini Menon. Sorry, Padmini Pillai, beg your pardon. I have read in textbooks of many leadership styles: democratic, laissez-faire, autocratic, pace-setting, etc. What kind of leadership do you think Inner Wheel members should adopt or adapt?
Sorry, I could not understand the question. Can you repeat it for me?
I have read in textbooks of many leadership styles:
Yes.
democratic, laissez-faire, autocratic, pace-setting, etc. What kind of leadership do you think Inner Wheel members should adapt or adopt?
I think we should be servant leaders, a pace-setting leader. A servant leader is one who is, you know, like feels responsible. She's not an autocratic, or, you know, she's not demanding. She is not forceful, but, you know, there is a style with which you can make members work, and you must be a trendsetter. You know, normally we like to follow what our previous, you know, predecessors have done. But if you lay a path for yourself, if you become a trendsetter without being, you know, forceful, without being, you know, autocratic, I think then you are a successful leader and you have set a trend in your country, in your district, how to be a good leader. So I think leadership, Inner Wheel members should adopt and adapt this practice of pace setting. Slow and steady wins the race, and always be positive.
The next question comes from Jessie Wang, Inner Wheel Club of Kuala Lumpur. What advice would you give to reluctant members to assume leadership positions?
You know, reluctant members, I just told you the story of my mother-in-law. You know, she was reluctant. Nobody in my family was, you know, even encouraging me to be, you know, and how I made a reluctant member become a member. You know, you invite them for I mean, you know, I'll tell you why. Members become reluctant mainly when we ignore them in a club meeting. You know, when a new member joins, it is our duty that we must, you know, involve them in the club projects or make friends with them. Generally, what happens when a new member comes, we forget, okay, she's introduced and we clap for her and we say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Then what happens in the fellowship time? She's sitting alone and we all are mixing with our group of friends. You know, we forget that she exists. Suppose she does not turn up for the next meeting, we never inquire why you didn't come, because we are so busy with our own group of friends, we never realize that somebody is absent today. So this is what happens. that we must involve them. If you involve them, they will never leave your club and they will also like to do something. So involvement, I think, is very, very necessary. And then only and once they get involved, you know, you just have that drug of inner wheel to be injected into their veins. And once they start enjoying inner wheel, nobody can stop them, not even their husbands, not even their mother-in-law, not even their father-in-law, not even their children. Like how we are today. You know, my children get so upset saying, Mommy is only talking about inner wheel all the time because I'm now addicted to inner wheel. So we have to get them addicted.
And we have a question from Junita Tan. Do you have difficulty filling up club positions in your district? And how do you encourage them? Quite similar to the previous question, but you may have another slant on that.
Yes, we do have difficulties. You know, we don't have difficulties for the higher positions. Even if, you know, to become a club president, people are very scared because you know why? They compare themselves with the previous president. Oh, she did so much. She did a one project. How will I be able to match up? You know, so we keep telling them, don't compare yourself. You might be good at dancing, she might be good at singing, she might be good at music. So each one has their hidden depths, each one has their own quality. So with your quality, with your resources, you can do wonders. Sometimes, you know, I have seen small clubs. We also had club in villages, in rural areas, okay? And they come up with fantastic ideas. They do such novel and innovative projects. I always say we learn from every member of Inner Wheel. Every member teaches us. So if we, you know, put them in the right direction and tell them, do not compete, do not do say, and why you have to compete with your previous leader? You set your own path. You lead your own way. You lighten the, you know, you lead the way in your own way. You pave the way. So if you pave your own way, I'm sure it is not that we have a tough time, of course, but these are the words we use. And every time for our club also, we have only 40 members. Our club is 30 years old. We are celebrating a Pearl Jubilee this year, but we have not repeated any precedent, you know.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, you know, it's the duty of the senior leaders to convince the members to take up the positions. Like, you know, how you give children lollipop and tell them, you know, something, some stories, we come and say, that is how we have to, you know, make them feel happy and comfortable and tell them we will not be forceful as senior leaders, we will not be your mothers-in-law, we will all be your friends. And then then they are, you know, then they become big. And we help them. Initially to plan the calendar year, senior members, we help them. You know, this month you do this project, this month you do this, you do this. So once they get into the flow, then they start flowing like a river and they join the ocean. We have no difficulty.
Next question comes from Pavitra. Members join the club to feel included, but only a small number end up being committee. As a committee, how do you make the normal members feel included?
That's what I said. We have to involve them. We have to inspire them. You know, when you're doing a project, the members who don't come, please call them up and say, why didn't you attend the previous meeting? Did you have any problem? Don't you have any friends? You come this time, we will introduce to more members, and then you give them some work to do. Involve them in a project. You say, okay, this time you will do this and this for the project, okay? This is you, I'm making you the project chairman. Even if you do that, then, you know, they feel, normal members feel they're part of the committee. But if you have the same members repeating in the committee, doing all the work, I know everywhere we have these leakages. You know, only 10% or 20% of the members in a club are active. This happens also in India. But if you are a smart leader, what does a smart leader do? She comes up with smart ideas by involving everybody in the club. So like, for example, in my club, Eluru, how we involve the members is, you know, when we have our meetings, previously, only few members would host the meeting. So now what we have done, a lottery. We take out a lottery, 4 members. And those 4 members have to host the meeting in whatever way they like to do. Whether they want to host a dinner party or a lunch party or a snack, they want to add some games at the end. And we also make them a project chairman. 4 members will do one project in that month. So it is their month. Suppose January we dedicate it to 4 members. February we dedicate to the next 4 members. So they also have to think of what project they want to do, but in consultation with the club president. They cannot do anything on their own. They give suggestions to the club president. Well, we have these ideas, and so every member is involved. Every member gets some, is hosting a meeting. Every member is doing some project. And we also started one, this is not in the question, but with your permission, I would like to share. In our club recently, we have started a thing called high five. You know, high five, we give each other high five. So we have started this at the end of the meeting. The president says it's time for high five. And you know what is this high five? If you have any good news to share, your mother's birthday, your son has got a job, your daughter is getting married, any good news in your family you want to share, you have to share, but you have to give some donation to the club. For example, in India, we give 500 rupees, I don't know how many dollars it is. If you want to share a news, with all your club members, we give 500 rupees and then we share and everybody claps and gives you a high five. And you won't believe, at the end of the year, we do a project with the high five money and we collect quite a good number, good amount to do a good project. Because everybody has some happy news, husband's birthday, children's birthday, grandchildren's birthday, or somebody who had corona has survived, somebody had cancer who has survived, you're so happy, you want to give, instead of giving chocolates and sweets or parties, we have the high five.
We have a question from Yoksan from Individual Club of Ipoh East. What types and how often is training in your district or club?
Yes. We have the district training program along with the NR. We have it in the month of April, where the NR invites some past national representatives as trainers or past international presidents as trainers. I have been a trainer for 6 consecutive years as a faculty member, and there they train the district chairman. That is, the training program lasts about 3 days, and every aspect of a year is being discussed. That is the district level. And then when the chairman is trained and she comes back, she is ready, and in her training program, we give her leaflets for all the other training members, for the district secretary, for the club secretary, district treasurer, club treasurer, all the offices. We give her leaflets and papers. So she comes back and then she organizes the training program in the district, which usually happens in the month of May or June, depending on when the chairman and members are free. And yes, we do have a training program for all the clubs. That is mandatory, and even to get the outstanding award, this is one of the points that you must attend the training program. And you must release 3 bulletins to be an outstanding president. You also need to release 3 club bulletins in a year, whether it is e-bulletin or hard copy. But we have to, and we have our 3 district events every year: the district assembly, the district conference, and we also have a rally. And every club president must attend these functions, and also the national level functions to become an outstanding president. One of the criteria is that also.
Any more questions? Joan, any more questions, Joan?
No, not so far. Okay, we've got another
Shanti?
one. Oh,
So far, no
Yoksan
questions.
Yoksan has asked another question here. What topics are in your training programs? Is it just about inner wheel?
Yes, we have training programs for club president, secretary, treasurer, ISO, editor, membership development, branding inner, and whatever the goals of the national NR gives goals, or the international president gives goals. So we have training on that. We have also training on election, balloting. We have training on protocol, how to, how to have the seating arrangements, and how to address, when you address a meeting, who should be addressed first, who should be addressed later, and when the your district chairman visits your club, what are the files you have to show her, and what are the comments you have to take from her, how you should receive her, how you should see her off, because for receiving many people go, 10 members will go, but when it comes to seeing off, only one member might go. So we say that as many members come to receive the district chairman or the national representative, please go and see her off also. We have a lot of, of course, related to inner wheel only, but not only the positions in the club, but other topics also. But all related to inner wheel. Leadership, how to be a good president, how to be a good leader, so all that. How to increase membership, how to start new clubs, how to fill in the charter form. So many trainings we have.
There is one question from Daisy Rani,
Yes.
Inner Club of Butterworth. Where can we find the materials for these training programs?
Well, in India, we get a guideline book. I will just show you. I have one in front of me. Our national representative, she gives us the guideline book, and it is so thick. Just see how thick it is on all the topics. Every topic is there, all information is there. And similarly, the district chairman, after her training, she will not give this entire book to the president, but the relevant topics. If it's the club president, she will take out the relevant papers of the club president. For the club secretary, she will give the relevant papers to the club secretary, to the ISO, to the editor, to the vice president, to all those things. And this is, we get it from the association when we become NR. When we are the NR, we have to prepare a file like this for our districts and for our clubs. This includes both the district leaders as well as our club leaders. This is how we get the.
And we have a question from Pardimala from the Inner Wheel Club of Subang Selangor. Who is the person responsible for training?
Yes, for the training, as I told you, the NR will choose past international presidents or past national representatives who are good at training. And similarly, in the district level, the district chairman will choose past district chairman or past national representative who can give good and proper training to the members. So the trainers, it is very subjective. It is the district chairman or their national representative in the national level who decides who will be the faculty for this year. And when we have a training program, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan also join us because they don't have training in their country, so they join us.
Next question comes from past President Padmini of Alostar. What are some of the challenges that club leaders are facing these pandemic times, and how are they overcoming them to keep the club going?
Well, initially everybody was very disturbed in the months of April and May. Everybody thought the world has ended and now what will happen to Inner Wheel. But slowly, you won't believe, I myself did not know what Zoom was. I never heard of Zoom in my life. And then I learned how, okay, you can have Zoom meetings, you can have virtual meetings. Yes, we tell our club presidents that please do not go out because in India, the virus, the pandemic is spreading rapidly. We are having community spread now. So we tell our club presidents that please do not venture out. You have organizations, you speak to them on the phone. Suppose it's an old age home, you find out their requirements and you can send money online. Okay. And for the club meetings, we have virtual meetings on Zoom and we are very happy. And this year we also had all our training programs, the national training program and the district level training program on Zoom. And it was really very, very successful. Generally, our national training program is for 3 days, but this year because of Zoom, we had it for 10 days. And similarly, in the district level, we have a training program for 1 day from morning to evening. But because of Zoom, every day we had one or two topics. So it continued for 1 week. Today for the presidents, today for the secretaries, then for the ISOs, for the treasurers. So we were very happy. And in fact, we are planning that even next year, even if the pandemic is not there, let us have virtual trainings because it gives more time and we can focus, on the, specific members. If it's a treasurer's training, we focus on the treasurers. If it is the editors training, we focus only on the editors. So we are really finding it nice. Of course, it is not like, going yourself and physically doing a project or physically attending the meetings. We really miss that. But then we have to be positive and we have to take life as it comes, because it is raining now, but the rain will stop. We have to focus on, as I said, we have to think out of the box. We have to find opportunities to adapt to this normal to grow. And only with positive thinking we can do this. If you sit back and say, oh, we cannot do, as I told you the story about the shoes, in Africa, the two managers, how they said, one manager said, oh, we cannot do anything. And the other manager said, oh, we can do everything. We can do successful business. So we have to, depend on how the leader is, and you have to say, yes, we will do it. Does not matter. Let Corona come. We will do it. We will have our club meetings. We will do the projects. Nobody can stop us. So this is it.
We have a question from Daisy from Innovio Club of Butterworth. How do the clubs in India raise their funds for projects?
Yes. Most of the money are borne by the members itself from the club, because it's always, the club members, because I feel that every member can donate. If you are an Innovil member, I know you are rich enough to donate, not big amount, but a good substantial amount. So most of the the funds come from the club. Sometimes we also have some charity shows or fundraising or a fete or a film release or something like that. Each club has its own thoughts and how to do it. Like recently, one of our members, she took out a book of yellow pages. You know what that book was? It is a book, a yellow colored book. And all the members in the district who are working, whose husband is a doctor or who has who owns a, whatever your husband is doing or whatever you are doing, you just have to pay 200 rupees to put your advertisement in that book. Okay. So all the clubs, we did it club wise, and she could raise, I don't know, in Malaysian, Shanti will be able to translate better. We raised 2 lakh rupees with that yellow pages book.
12,000 ringgit.
Yeah. So, we could raise just by, suppose if you have a beauty parlor, okay, you give your advertisement and just paying 200 to 500, how much will that be? 200 to 500 rupees, Indian rupees.
That's very little. 20 ringgit, 25 ringgit.
And then we sold the books also. We sold each book for another 25 ringgits. So whoever wanted, like, suppose if I go to another city and I need a doctor, so instead of going to an unknown doctor, I will look at the book and say, oh, my friend, one Innovil member's husband is a dentist. Okay, I need a dentist. And I'm not in my hometown. I'm in some other place and I need a dentist. So I can, or if I need to get my hair trimmed, and say, why should I go to a new parlor? Let me go to my friend's parlor, Innovil member's parlor. So this way we raised money. Different ways. Every club has its own way of raising money.
Any more questions? Shanti, any more?
So far, nothing yet. No more.
No?
Ladies?
Any feedback anybody would like to, did you like any feedback?
No, we do have a question now from Yoksan. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Now that I feel fired up, can we have a copy of your 6 training program booklet and adopt part or all of it for our own training?
Yes, I wouldn't mind sharing it. I will share it. Maybe should I send it to a NR or because I'm one person, and you can have a look at it. And,
Have Sarita, have you all managed to go E in any way?
go to UN. Sorry.
E. Have you all managed to go E?
Yes, yes. E in the sense we are doing, we are taking out all our bulletins in E bulletins.
Okay.
Only E bulletin. We have not
Tra-
started E class.
Your training manuals are not E.
Yeah, not E. Because I mean, actually, we get it by email. We get it by email, and normally the chairman gets the hard copy. But this time it was all like this. I got it by email, and then I got it binded myself. I took out all the pages, and I.
Right.
If there's no other questions, I'd like to show you a video that summarizes today's presentation, Building Tomorrow's Leader.
I have a question for you now. I want to know in your district, in your country, Malaysia and Singapore, do you have awards? Do you give awards to the club presidents?
We don't have that.
Actually, we don't have that. The last time we had an award was in the term Padmini Menon's term, where she awarded a prize for a project. She had initiated a green project, and whichever club that emerged the winner got a prize from the district for that, a certificate of merit.
You don't give even a certificate of merit to the club presidents? You don't give?
We have never practiced that.
I just want to know.
Yeah.
And do you have training programs in your country, in your districts?
We do.
Training programs.
Training programs. It's not a structured
Do
training
you give
program.
training to your members,
We do.
to your club presidents?
We do.
You have training.
But it's not like a structured one, like how you mentioned just now. It's not like, we don't have a particular month for it. We don't have a module for it, Yeah.
I just wanted to know, that's why.
Yeah.
So, ladies, that concludes our program for the evening. I'd like to thank our guest speaker, Sarita Loonani, for this excellent presentation.